Molly, Jewish students resorting to legal options to fight anti-Semitism on college campuses. At least 4 universities are facing legal challenges under Title VI. It bars federally funded institutions from treating individuals worse based on their race, color, or national origin. Are American institutions losing their credibility? Civil rights attorney and former history professor Leo Terrell joins us to discuss. But first, let's go to Lydia Hu, live in New York City, with more on these legal battles. Lydia?
Hi there, Mike. That's right. The university sued include the University of Pennsylvania, NYU, Carnegie Mellon, and Berkeley. And lawyers say more lawsuits against other universities are coming. The students claim that the universities have violated Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which prohibits any program receiving federal funding, like a public or private university, from excluding, denying, or discriminating against a person based on race, color, or national origin. Now, one of the students suing the University of Pennsylvania says the university fosters a hostile environment.
When there is class happening on campus and there are people with bullhorns chanting intifada, which means an armed uprising throughout campus, that is not allowed. When this happened for 8 hours on a Monday, it was during midterms.
Now, that student's lawsuit and others asked the courts to order the universities enforce their own codes of conduct to protect Jewish students. They want professors and students fired or kicked out of school and tuition refunds. Now, we reached out to the universities for comment and did not receive replies, but the protests on college campuses are often defended as exercises of free speech. But experts, including the former Assistant U.S. Secretary of Education for Civil Rights, say the law does not protect speech that intimidates or harasses Jewish students.
There are universities that have terrible reputation when it comes to free speech. They censor and punish people for saying things that are politically incorrect. And yet when it comes to anti-Semitism, suddenly they discover the First Amendment.
Now, in addition to these lawsuits by students, the Department of Education has also launched a few dozen of its own Title VI investigations into universities. Those include University of Pennsylvania, Harvard, Columbia, and Cornell, and others. Mike, those investigations could potentially lead the schools to lose their federal funding. We'll send it back to you, Mike.
Lydia Hu reporting live. Lydia, thanks very much. Molly?
And now, as promised, we have Leo Terrell here to talk about this. Leo, thank you so much for joining us, and Happy New Year to you. It's great to have you with us and to get your insight on this topic. This has been going on for a while now. We've seen sort of the escalating challenges that these colleges are facing. Any surprise that students are suing?
First of all, thank you very much for having me, Molly. This is a slam dunk case on behalf of the students. They have a winning case. Why? Because the evidence is overwhelming. These Jewish students on these private and public universities, Molly, are being intimidated, harassed. How can they enjoy the quality of an education studying when they're being harassed, targeted specifically because of their religious belief? They can get injunctive relief, Molly. They can get a court to order protection and to make sure they're safe. And I would submit to you that the Democratic administration, Department of Education, is not doing enough. Where's Merrick Garland? And I think it's a double standard. When the Jewish students are being targeted, I would submit to you, if this was being targeted towards black or Hispanic students, you would have the FBI, Department of Justice, National Guard on these campuses. The Jewish students are being disadvantaged because they're Jewish.
Yeah. We've seen very recently at least one college president stepping down, Liz McGill at UPenn stepping down after those congressional hearings in which the president's reactions were widely criticized. But now all eyes are on Harvard. Harvard President Claudine Gay also has been facing a lot of fire. Donors called for donors for resignation and others for resignation, but she's held her post. And the Harvard Corporation, which is the the highest governing board at Harvard, has also helped her to hold that job. Your thoughts as we're turning the corner in a new year under this continued criticism, but also new allegations of ongoing plagiarism over the course of her quarter-century career in scholarship. Your thoughts?
I want to be very clear. She's holding on to her job because of her skin color. In my opinion, you had the University of Penn, Molly, female white president, she retired. She resigned. The Harvard University is keeping Dr. Gay in that position. She's the first black president, and her race is keeping her in that position. Besides the fact that she did not come out strongly against anti-Semitism, her plagiarism is inconsistent with the code of conduct for every student on that campus. And I think it's wrong for her to remain in that position. She should be fired yesterday because she is being protected based on her skin color. I think that's wrong. I think it's offensive because she's obviously not qualified for that position, and she's basically has received a vote of no confidence from the Jewish students and from everyone in this country regarding her role in handling the problem at Harvard.
Yeah, which I think sets us up for kind of the next point of contact that I want to talk about is there is an investigation now. Congress has shifted their investigation. They're also looking into Harvard, the leadership itself, and to how they're handling this situation. And here's another even more recent headline than that one. This is Kevin Haslett from the National Review, an op-ed. As one watches Harvard University abandon any semblance of commitment to academic standards in defense of its accused serial plagiarist president, Claudine Gay, the curious mind might wonder how an institution that is closing in on its 400th year could be taken over by such mediocrity. Your thoughts on the Harvard Corporation, on the leadership of one of America's most elite schools?
Oh, very simple. Follow the money, Molly. The money that is being received by not just Harvard, some of these prestigious, alleged prestigious universities, follow the money. Where is it coming from? This is an ongoing, decade-long move to the left by these universities that were supposed to be the gold standard. The money is coming from overseas, from individuals and from organizations and from countries that have a left-wing agenda. And the agenda is being protected in these universities. And in my opinion, Dr. Gay represents the worst of this agenda, keeping people in positions based on identity politics. It is shameful, and it has lost the credibility of Harvard and these other alleged Ivy League schools. It's just not Harvard. It's on the West Coast, too. Berkeley, the law school that I went to at UCLA, the private university, it is shameful. Follow the money, Molly. That's the problem.
You know, Virginia Fox, she's the head of the House Committee on Education that's looking into this angle of this story as it continues to move forward. And she wrote to us, without sufficient action from Harvard Corporation, the depends on context president will also be forever marred as the plagiarism president, and a great stain will mark Harvard's legacy. She goes on to say, how can Claudine Gay hold a student accountable for plagiarism ever again? Is there a double standard here that has to be addressed so that leadership and professors at universities are at the same standard as the students?
Let me think about that. Yes, it's a double standard, and it's shameful. It's embarrassing. If you are a student at Harvard and you see, and she represents the school, the institution, and she has plagiarized, there's evidence of it. She's acknowledged it. And you're being treated differently? Why is she being protected, Molly? I'm sorry to say this, is shameful. We're 2024 around the corner. Her skin color is keeping her in that position. And that is shameful. That is wrong. As a civil rights attorney for over 30 years, it's wrong. You put the most qualified individual, you put a role model in that position, and Dr. Claudine Gay is not a role model, Molly.
Leo Terrell, thank you very much. As you mentioned, 2024 just around the corner. We will see what that holds for Harvard and also for the president there. Thank you for joining us with your thoughts and your insights today. Happy New Year.